This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSPORT Fan Network. TalkSPORT. Powered by fans.
And a superb goal from Barrett. Oh, the keeper saves it, and there's McGregor. There's a goal. Oh, McGregor.
Robertson, the first time we've seen them attack them, and there's Francis! Well, that's what I wanted to see Robertson do.
Robertson getting a shot in, and a goal. Robertson.
Hello, welcome to this preview edition of Red Side of the Trent as Forest take on Danish side FC Midtjylland in their first European home game in 29 years since that famous 5-1 defeat to Bayern Munich where Jurgen Klinsmann kind of just cleaned up shop. I'm delighted to be joined by Premier Elliot and Elliot Bauer, Danny Tring and Reese Lane. Danny, how are you first of all?
Yeah, good, very good. Very good. Looking forward to a chat. What about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm glad you and Reese Lane are matching. I know you've corresponded in this one to get together and be on the same page. Reese, are you all right?
Yes, mate, I'm good. At yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm doing all right. And then Elliot, last of all, but no means least, how are you?
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be on this podcast, ready for Midtjylland. Although I don't really know that much about the team, but I do have a small Danish fact ready for you. Unless you want to do it now, I don't know.
Do it now because we'll get the crowd hyped for this pod.
Just to cheer everybody up from last Saturday. The only thing I really know about Denmark is they have the world's largest sperm bank. And these days, they're not allowed. They are now saying thanks, but no thanks to a certain few individuals, and they're people with red hair. That's because they've got too much supply and very little demand. A lot of Danes have red hair, so they're no longer taking any sperm from people with red hair.
Just like prejudice
Against
the gingers. We're going to talk about that Sunderland game though. First of all, guys, before we do dive into Midtjylland, because it has been a massive topic of debate because Ange's still not bleeding won a game of football, especially against two promoted sides in Burnley and Sunderland. Who Sunderland, fair play to them, organised, got their goal in dubious fashion, but we couldn't break them down. Danny, how did you feel walking away from that game? I know it's been a lot of mixed bag in our WhatsApp group, especially.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was disappointed. I was very disappointed coming away from it. It was frustration. It felt like it was a bit desperate at times, and which is crazy, really. Like we've all been in the chat, we've been talking. There's only 6 games been played, but it is getting like that. I mean, I think most of us. I mean, none of us wanted Ange. There's no one that's going to turn around and be like, "Oh yeah, well we wanted Ange, no one wanted. It was no one's first choice, but all we want is to win." And I think we all got to the point. Batiste was absolutely brilliant. I was sky high after Batiste. The performance, I've said it. I think it was the best performance I've seen Forest play. That first half, it was relentless. For 25, 30 minutes, it was the best I've ever seen them play. They were brilliant, and I was all excited. And then it was a bit similar to the feeling where Nuno got us all excited after the Brentford game, and then the West Ham game come, and it was like we were just flat as pancakes after. And no, I was disappointed. I mean, I look back now after dust has settled. The attacking, they want at it. The attackers want at it. We look a bit. What's the word up front? Going forward, we just don't carry much threat no more. We are creating chances, and I know people are saying, "Yeah, the half chances not really made keepers not had to make a save really of any ilk." But I've seen a clip today when we went 1-0 up against Liverpool at City Ground last year. That was only half a chance for Chris Wood. It's only half chances that we had last year. Hudson-Odoi was at half chance. Elanga's ran length at the pitch, half chance. Then there was a spell where Chris Wood, everything he touched just went in. And at the minute, well, it's not just now, to be fair. We had it at the end of last season, didn't we? We always commented after Chris Wood got injured on the international break, all of us were saying he doesn't look the same player he was before the injury. So, yeah, I'm frustrated. I am. And I'm not obviously. I'm not doom and gloom. I'm just concerned that the longer this winless streak goes on, the bigger the narrative gets, and then like you say, we want to get it. I think like Sunderland was a prime chance to put it right, and I know people are saying they're a decent side, but that's what they are. They're just a decent side. They're not. If you can't put that in your calendar as a game that you think you're going to win, then there's not many that you can.
Yeah. Elliot, do you echo what Danny said, or have you got a different opinion for that one?
Yeah, Danny had it absolutely spot on, and it also goes to show that we need to take every game just as seriously, because since we've only got like 1 point in from West Ham, Burnley, and Sunderland, I know we've got, like, as everybody says, a tough run of fixtures coming up, but that just proves that they're all going to be very, very tough. Every single team in this league is going to try and target the win against us. So from now on, no more taking games lightly. Let's take every game as seriously. But yeah, I echo what Danny said. I totally agree with him.
Yeah, I mean, Reece, you obviously spoke with Christian and Alex about it on Sunday and reflected. Have you changed? Has anything changed since then? Have you had any different thoughts? I know you're quite concerned going into this week, and kind of Thursdays we're pinning on actually getting a win under our belts for a change.
Yeah, there was, like Danny said, that spell at Betis in that first half was some of the best football, if not the best football I've seen a Forest team play, if you take into the magnitude of the game, etc. So you're kind of leaning on them positives to take into a game on Saturday where you're at home. Again, like Danny says, if with respect to Sunderland, they're a newly promoted side, yeah, they're a decent side, but we finished 7th in the Premier League. We're a Premier League side now. We finished 7th last season. You've got to be looking to beat them side by side at home if you want to, just keep your position in this league, never mind progress. So you're just looking at all them kind of positives, what we've had to build up to Saturday to win that game. And then you're thinking, right, we've got something to build on here. And then it just feels like we've just come back to the start again. And that's a concern. Like Thursday for me, look, Thursday we should be winning regardless. Even if we've not won in 15 games, it's, we're at home. I dread to think our squad depth and cost compared to theirs. They even played last night, for example. That's another thing in our favour. They're not bringing a massive contingent of fans. It's apparently below 1,000. So everything's kind of in our favour tomorrow. So for Thursday, sorry. So Thursday's a non-negotiable for me. I'm not even going to comprehend thinking a point might be okay or anything like that. But even if we do win on Thursday, we've got to now go to Newcastle, really, which is going to be tough, and follow that up with a result, because we need some points on the board in the Premier League. If we'd have beaten Sunderland and beaten Burnley, there's not as much pressure on Sunday. Every game's important, but it's not like we desperately need a point, because as well, Newcastle at the minute are down there with us. I know it's early days, but they're a point above us, I think, aren't they, Newcastle?
Yeah.
And then like Christian was saying in the chat earlier, they're not in free-flowing mode. They've also got a game, I think it's tomorrow night in the Champions League, away from home in Belgium. So, yeah, I thought he needed a result last weekend. He desperately needs some results this week, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Danny, do you feel sorry for Ange a little bit? Because I know it's partly on him that he keeps rotating the side. I still think he's trying to find his best team and also give people minutes. But Murillo gets injured, a bit of a freak. Well, normally one that he'd run off against Arsenal. Obviously, Aina got injured on international duty, and Douglas Luiz come unfit from Juventus, and obviously Dominguez was injured pre-season towards the end of last season. So that's like 4 big players for us that were, well, other than Louise, but 3 they were like starters every week for us. That's like continuity for us. That's what I think got us our success last season. He needs to find that quite quick, but I guess it's difficult with the amount of games we've been having.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, feeling sorry for him. I mean, I'm not necessarily in that camp. I think he's got enough with what we've got. I mean, the squads, we've got enough in that squad to have beaten out of 3 games. We've got enough in that squad to have beaten Swansea, Burnley, and Sunderland. Like, so I'm not putting it like, oh yeah, no, it's not fair kind of thing. I get it. It's for me, where I stand. Marilla's our best player, in my opinion. Is massive in every way. We look at it. I think if you asked all of us over the last 3-4 games, the two best players have been Morata and Nico Williams. And you look who's like performed at a steady level. You look, it's still not that level that Murillo gives you. It's a good enough level, but you just know what he gives you. It's like I was speaking to my dad earlier. How many goal, like we were on about like small margins, how many goal line clearances did he do last season? Was it 5, 6, something stupid? It was crazy. I mean, Arsenal, they were like a one-man machine before he got injured. So it is a massive blow to him. I look at this, Ain as a starter, I know people question him at start. For me, is the best right back in the league. When he's on it, is the best right back in the league. It gives you a nice balance because of Williams. We all know Zinchenko's frailties, so that's even a bigger blow because for as good technically gifted it is, it's a massive issue, his defensive ability. And the other issue is we haven't really got anyone else. It's like we've got that
No.
Savona who none of us are convinced with. So I feel for Ange in that sense because everyone's questioning him about Zinchenko, but no one's got an answer because the other answer would be putting Morata at left back, and we know how that went. And then you can go on to Dominguez. For us, is one of our favourite players as a starter. And then you look at Douglas Luiz. We've played our best football this season when he's been on the pitch. He's come in and he looks like a Rolls Royce in a good team. We've got we've got Elliot Anderson who we all love. We've got Morgan Gibbs White who a lot of people love. He comes in and he still looks probably a touch better. Like, I don't know. He just looks like he's got that elite level footballer in him. I mean, we all love Anderson. We know he's going to get it, but he is raw. Like Shaka, I thought schooled him on Saturday. I don't think it schools Louise. Like, I think Louise is that level. So yeah, it comes as no surprise that Douglas Luiz's minutes for Forest have been Forest's best under Ange. So yeah, I get it. I do feel for him in that sense. But then I will go on to say, like I said, we've got enough to be beating one of Swansea, Burnley, and Sunderland. So it's like we've not. If he'd have had them injuries and we'd had Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea, then maybe I'd feel a bit like, oh well, he ain't got his best players. But for me, yeah, we've got enough to beat them.
Yeah, I mean, Elliot, do you see a scenario where if Ange maybe doesn't get a result in these next 2 games, he would kind of have to start thinking about parting ways, which is something that's already been spoken about all over the media recently. I think Andy Goldstein has said on TalkSPORT he expects him to go by before Christmas, if that. And we know what Marinakis is like.
Yeah, but we also know what some of our fan base is like as well. Like a loss 3-0 to Arsenal, and which famously we also lost 3-0 last year to Arsenal and went on that really good run. So don't get wrong, our patience is being tested at the moment. But as Danny said, you've got to bear in mind some very key players such as Murillo, Douglas Luiz, etc. They're unfortunately not available. I echo his point as well on Morata. Now, Morato's only problem is he's not Murillo. Murillo, we caught lightning in a bottle there, but unfortunately, Morato's come in. I thought he has done a very decent job, but it's not like we haven't gone through a tough run of fixtures and done very well. Look at last December, for example. So I think, getting rid of him in Christmas maybe a bit much. Like let's just see where the energy goes. But at the moment, our patience is being tested.
Yeah, I mean, Reece, do you know with last season we spoke quite a lot on the pod saying like how good it was that Nuno managed to get. The back 5 was pretty consistent. Elliot Anderson just needed to find a partner, but then you knew what the front 4 was going. Ange needs to find that pretty sharpish, doesn't he? Because I think that's something that was part of our success last season, regardless of the style of football. I just think he needs to start picking like eight players or maybe 9 players that are going to play every week.
Yeah, that is a tiny bit where I do feel a bit for him because, that back five when they're fit picks itself, doesn't it? Let's be honest. And he's missing 2 of them. And I know Ola Aina, some fans complain saying he wasn't at the level at the back end of last season what he was early on in the season. He might have a point to that, but his miss for the balance of the side and also the morale in the dressing room as well. I don't think anybody's mentioned that yet. You looked at all the social media stuff last season of the camaraderie and that of the players. 9 times out of 10, Ola Aina leading it. And we're not seeing any of that at the moment, are we? That might be because obviously the results aren't good, and we know what social media is like. If they do put posts out like that, then you're going to probably get abused. But yeah, that's just been a massive miss for us because, as well, like Danny said, Savona's been brought in really for Nuno. He's been brought in really as a right back who's going to sit behind the ball when we're in a low block and see the game out because I've mentioned before, he looks to me more like a right-sided centre-back because of his build, etc. So we've not really got that natural replacement, which is, as well with Ange liking his full-backs to be inverted. So I do feel for him in that sense. So yeah, that's all. That's an issue. Anderson's obviously going to play, and I think again, Douglas Luiz is probably going to start every week, but now he's injured, so that's another thing he's had to deal with. So I do feel for him in a way, but as we all know, it's a results-based business, and we agree, like Danny said, that we've got enough still without them players to be beating Swansea, Burnley, and Sunderland. And unfortunately, we've not won any of them, and that's the issue, unfortunately.
Yeah. I said on my Twitter, I says we're conditioned to a way of football. Depending on the results under Nuno, you could argue from an outset we got called anti-football so much, but when you're winning, you're like, well, I don't care, and it's working, and you kind of stick 2 fingers up to the rest of the league, don't you?
It was the same with Sabri, wasn't it, back in the day? His style was very similar to Nuno, soak up pressure and hit on the break, and we tolerated it until it goes wrong. But as soon as it starts going wrong, you get less time with fans because the fans want to be entertained. They want to win is the first thing, but then the next thing is to be entertained. And if you're not winning and not being entertained, then you're on a slippery slope.
Yeah, definitely. Just a quick one as well. If the back 5 that we've been so used to are available, who do you think Ange still tries to continue playing that inverted fullback, or do you think he has maybe a swap around? Because I only point that out because my prime example would be what Guardiola did with City and playing Guardiola as that inverted. I wouldn't take out the question that Ange would play Murillo there because he's capable.
I'm not too sure. It depends if he felt them play. I think Aina could play a kind of inverted role, couldn't he? Because he's got the pace, but it's just kind of his energy level, isn't it?
Like just asking him to sprint a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Watched Zinchenko run the other night. It was like running through treacle, I have to say.
Nico Williams is similar to Dominguez in the sense that he's very agile, but I wouldn't say he's really quick.
Yeah.
But neither is Zinchenko to say that. But I'm not too sure. I can't answer that in a minute because obviously we've not seen it, which is a shame, really.
Yeah, definitely. Going on to Thursday night then, guys. Obviously, first game back at the City ground in Europe for 29 years, as I mentioned. None of us were around really to remember that. Not even you, Danny. I think you're the oldest by a little bit, or maybe you, Elliot. I can't remember. So I know this start of the season's kind of zapped out that energy, but you've got to be excited, surely. Like, we were all excited. I'm excited. I'm not even bleeding going because I can't.
Is that me?
Yeah, that is you.
Yeah, that's I'm buzzing, mate. It's like, yeah, I keep saying it, but I think that's just the way I am. There's no right or wrong way to be, but I can't think about going to we was on about it earlier on the chat, and we were on about like the tickets and it not selling out. And I agree with Reese. I know people are questioning the price, but I'm not going to watch. I don't care who we're against. It's Nottingham Forest's first European Cup game at home for 30 years, or nearly 30 years. That's what I'm going for. I'm not going because it's Man United who we're playing, or we're playing Liverpool, or we're playing. So I can't understand. I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, we've not sold it out, or has it gone to general sale? Because it's going to be massive. And when we get there, and we go there, and we see, like, I've seen a couple of the banners that you put up that are on Trent Bridge and stuff, and we hear that music if they do a bit of the light flashing like they did at Batiste when we were there, it gets you. You're like, this is what we've dreamt of for years, and you can't until you're in that moment. It's like I was looking for at Batiste. I was looking forward to it. I thought this is going to be amazing, and it just exceeded everything when you got in that ground, in the lining up, and the banners are there, and the badges are on and you're just like, this is absolutely unbelievable. So no, I don't get anyone who can't be excited, and I get, oh yeah, well, we're not going to win, blah blah blah, all that, but come on, like, give it a rest now. What's the point if you're going to go with that attitude? Like, you might as well not follow football, because we've all said it. There's no logic in football. You don't go. And I was speaking to people out in Batiste when they were on about, oh, what do you think about Ange and this, and what do you think about Nuno? I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I couldn't care less who's in the dugout. Like, all I wanted to do was be with my friends and my family in that place at that time, and I don't care who's there. Like, I don't care who's manager. I don't necessarily care who's playing. Like, in 10 years it'll be a totally different team, but I'll still feel the exact same as I feel now about Forest. And it's 10 years ago I felt the exact same when we were in the pits or wherever we were. And I always remember one of my best mates, he Forest fan, and he was good pals. Well, I think he was living with a lad, and he was a Tottenham fan. And this was probably Harry Redknapp era when they was doing well. They got Bale and this, that, and other. And they were watching a Champions League game, and they turn around to him and his mate says, how do you support Forest? He says, like, you do nothing in Championship. Like, you could imagine this, like, Champions League. He says, you're never going to do that. Like, I do feel that bit like being a Forest fan. How come? And he went to him, you're living in Nottingham. He says, you're a Tottenham fan. He says, you're never going to feel what I feel if Forest get there.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we've said it all the last year when we beat Man United and Liverpool's. We grew up in schools where they was the fans and we were you're a Forest fan for. You can't replicate how you feel. Like, that's what it is. And I know full well on Thursday night when I get out of the car and walk to the ground, I'll have that exact butterflies, that exact feeling. And like I said, I don't care who's there. I don't care who's in the dugout. It's the people who you're around, the people who you go with. That's what Forest is, isn't it? We all know that. Like, as frustrating and as aggravated as we're getting, we fall out with people. It's like a community. It's a family, and that's what. So yeah, for me, I'm buzzing. That's your answer.
I think every like match going fan up and down the country will resonate with that, mate. So I think that's pretty well put. I mean, put that on on a car bumper sticker or something. Like, I don't care who's in dugout, it's Forest, or something like that. I don't know, but I mean, Elliot, you must be really excited, because I think you must have been at an age where you might have just remembered that those your UEFA Cup nights. I guess you must be really excited to be going, and maybe, I don't know, geeing up the P block, I'm assuming.
I was around during the UEFA Cup years 30 years ago. The only issue was I was 11 and I didn't have any friends. So
bless you. You've got loads of friends now.
I have. Very grateful for you lot. As Danny says, I'm super excited for this. I didn't much care who we played. I'm just really looking forward to, as Danny said, the Batiste game, all that, pomp, and it's one of those rare pre-game anthems where we don't boo them. And I'm actually going with some of the Forest All Over boys as well, so I'm looking forward to their bickering.
Oh, make sure you sit in between them two, because there'll be handbags.
Yeah, fair enough. In a nutshell, I'm I'm really looking forward to this. And I agree. Yeah, it is a little bit more expensive, but you got to bear in mind this isn't a championship game. This isn't a League Cup thing. This is a very, very serious competition. And Reese, I know I annoyed you when you called it a winnable tournament, and I said all tournaments are winnable. This is something we can really we can really go on to win. I know Mr. Marinakis is all in today, so yeah, just forget about Sunderland. Let's really go for it. Just have that passion that you had for that West Ham game, first Prem game of the season, where the City ground was like a quarter of a mile from the surface of the sun, but we still cheered and had so much passion. So yeah, very much looking forward to Thursday.
Yeah, it was hot that day. I mean, I was that close to Declan Rice. I've seen the sweat off his brow. Reece, it is exciting. I know the mood around with Premier League results and Ange's not been great. But I mean, I think you posted actually. I think you got sent the banners. I mean, I think we tried to get in contact with like city council and stuff to start doing that sort of stuff and graffiti, like nice graffiti around the ground and that, but it's a nice touch, isn't it? It does kind of like lift you, but which is weird to say about a bit of cloth hanging from a bleeding street lamp.
Yeah, it just makes things look a bit more appealing, doesn't it? Like when they painted all the stanchions of the Bridgeford stand in a nice shade of red, rather than when the sun had faded it, for example. It just little things like that seem to make football fans go all gooey inside, don't it? So yeah, it's nice to see. Obviously, we've spoke about trying to get the barriers and that clean and painted because they are an eyesore. We know why they're there. Unfortunately, the world we live in, but it would be nice to get them, looking a bit better. I mean, after the Sunderland game, you're a bit flat, and you're thinking Thursday night. I should really be buzzing for it, but at this moment in time, I'm not. But yeah, you got to look forward to it because we've earned it from what we did last season. We've earned these nights from what was a long season last year. A mixed plenty of emotions. What we went through. So yeah, you've got to look forward to these nights because that's what we earned last season. Whatever another club's fans might want to say. I mean, just a little story on the Bayern Munich game. So I would have been 3 when that happened. So my dad got the programme from the away game in Munich and obviously all in German and took it to the home game and waited after the game for Jurgen Klinsmann to sign it, who was kind of the big star then of German football, and actually pushed Franz Beckenbauer out of the way to get his signature, one of the absolute legends of football, which always makes me chuckle when he's told me. I mean, Klinsmann is a legend, but I mean, God, Beckenbauer, I mean, he's even got his own range of Adidas trainers. So I think he must have been like a director at that stage or something like that. But yeah, like I say, you've got, I know obviously the opposition and, they're not obviously a household European name, but yeah, you've got to go and enjoy it, haven't you? The ticket prices are, let's be honest, they are a rip-off. We're ripped off in this country with everything. You've seen that with the ticket prices, what Betis charges, £17. And we're charging 50 to 70. But I did think it'd sell out because, a lot of fans have complained they can't get tickets. Plus, like Danny said, it's his first ever game in Europe this century. So hopefully by the time it does start, it will be sold out. And like Elliot said, yeah, I hope the atmosphere is special because it is a special night. Even though, like again, I said the opposition might not be at that level. We won. It's Forest back in Europe at home for the first time in 30 odd years nearly. So yeah, hopefully it's a special night and Ange and the lads can kind of put on a performance, put on a result for us, and we can go home with a smile on his face, at least for give us some respite for a few days until that Newcastle game.
Yeah, I mean, I know the away allocation's not going to sell out, and I think that's probably maybe played a little factor in terms of tickets being available, maybe people trying a last minute scramble. I think it will sell out. It'll be extremely close to being one. I'd like to think.
Yeah, well, it is Porto's the end of October, I believe. I
think 23rd. Yeah.
Well, probably people are looking more to that one because they're more of a household name, aren't they? They won the Champions League, I think, 2003 under Mourinho. They're more of I think they're the at home, they're the big stars, aren't they? Of the four for sure, Porto.
Are you sure Robbie Keane's Ferran Varosh?
Yeah, well,
We'll
yeah,
see. We'll see.
we'll see.
But what you say about atmosphere, yeah, you're hoping it's good. It goes kind of hand in hand with say it all the time up and down the country in terms of English atmosphere. Players need to also contribute to English teams' atmosphere.
Well,
but
it's something what Matt always mentions, isn't it, Rav, on the pods, that special under the lights feeling as well. It always seems to, under the lights, just a little bit more special. And like, obviously, we seen Everton's ground last night, first time under the lights, all lit up, and it just, I've seen quite a few videos of Z cars and on Twitter, and it just adds a little bit of edge to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, talking about Thursday in more depth, obviously Midtjylland come to us. They're second in their Danish league, and they're the champions of the Superliga at the moment. And they've actually changed manager recently. Start this month. And if you've not listened to our podcast with Ryan from the Sort Snack podcast, then do so, because it's quite interesting, because they sacked the manager because they were underperforming XG. So take that as what you will, but we're going to start off with Danny Tring's team for Thursday night, and I will read it out for audio listeners before I bring Danny in. So he's gone with John in goal, Savona, Abbott, Morato, Zinchenko across the back four, a two midfield of Nico Dominguez and Ibrahim Sangare, a three supporting striker in Gibbs White, James McAteen, Hudson Odoi, and then Igor Jesus up top. I'm really disappointed that Igor Jesus has not got a picture after his Dragon Ball Z escapades in recent times, Danny. But what's your thinking behind this team? And I mean, throwing Abbott into a first home game in European football would be a massive achievement for him, especially if it was ahead of Ryan Yates, who's club captain.
Well, I think we've seen that he went into the semi-final, and like we all said, it wasn't nothing exceptional, but he held his own for 60 minutes. I'd back him to do the same. A lot of this I picked on basically because there's certain players that I just don't think we can afford to get injured now. Nico Williams being one, Milenkovic being the other, Sells being another, and then Anderson being the other. Like, they're, for me at the minute, that, like, I mean, if I never thought, well, I mean, I'll give Nico Williams his credit. He's been exceptional for the last, 18 months. He's been absolutely brilliant. So he's at the point now where we can't afford to lose him. Yeah. He's becoming that critical to everything we do. So it's a bit of that. The options in defence, I'd have chucked Cunha in, but we all know he's not available. So I've gone with Abbott. I just think I don't want, if he's not going to play in these games, when's he going to play? They're perfect for him. Let's be right. It's like I touched on. He's played against Man City in a semi-final at FA Cup in the art position. I'll back him to go in there and do a better job than Bolly personally, because I'm not going to be hypocritical. After the Swansea game, I absolutely slated Bolly. Thought his performance was poor. Feel like he's lost that, and I think we touched on it. He started one game in like 18 months or something silly or whatever it is, and then going into the midfield, I've seen people saying, "Oh, I don't know why he put Dominguez in." I must have watched a different game, because for 45 minutes, I didn't think he was bad.
No,
I didn't think. I thought he was absolutely fine. So build him up. Sangare, get the minutes in his legs. McAtee, get the minutes in his legs. Because same with him. He wasn't exceptional, but he was tidy, and he needs the minutes. Gibbs White, again, is struggling. He needs minutes. I put him out on the right because I thought that was the best we've seen on him against Batiste. And for me personally, going forward, I want to see us go with a free midfield. And if Gibbs White ain't going to sit deeper and he's going to be played, he's going to have to play off that right-hand side. A bit like what he did at Batiste, basically. Hudson Odoi I put on the left because I've not seen anything from the other two wingers, which makes me feel like he doesn't deserve to start this game. And Igor Jesus because he scored 4 goals in 2 starts. He should have started Saturday. And I imagine he wants to add to his tally so he can get the golden boot in the tournament, because that's what, I know it sounds daft, but he's going to be looking at that. It's like he's already got 2. He's already got 2 against difficult opponents, anti-Batiste away. So, and if they've only got to play 60 minutes, they're like your Sangara, it's your Dominguez. Well, Dominguez then got to play 45, 60 minutes. Gibbs White, same. Igor Jesus, same. Hudson Odoi, the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why I've gone for that.
I think what I quite like about this is McAtee and Gibbs White are quite interchangeable anyway. Like McAtee was seen drift out wide anyway. Last Saturday he was making them channel runs, so Gibbs White then can get inside. And I'm quite excited for that three behind Igor Jesus. It just something needs to click in. It will. I'm sure it's got to happen over time. But no, any thoughts from you, Elliot or Reese at all?
I like it.
Yeah. Reese.
I'll chat about it a bit more when we put my team up, so not
All
spoil
right. Well, we'll go with Elliot first for you, Reese. I'll keep the order. So Elliot's team for Midtjylland is also 4-2-3-1. Sells in goal: Williams, Milenkovic, Morato, Zinchenko, Dominguez, and Sangare. So midfield it's Danny, and then backward Gibbs White, Hudson Odoi, and Igor Jesus. I mean, Elliot, talk us through your lineup. I mean, you've stuck with the same back five. I mean, we spoke about continuity, so I guess that might be a factor in your team. But yeah, just talk us through it, I guess.
Okay, so regarding Nico, I've got a feeling he'll want to play in this game because obviously, of course, with the history, he wants to play every single game. So that's why I put Nico in for that. I want Zinchenko to actually stay on the left. I don't want any of this inverting fullback thing. I just want him to stay left back, do his job. Regarding the midfield, believe it or not, Dominguez and Sangare has not started a game as a two yet. In like last 3 seasons, like they've not done it yet. So
that's
paths. Why, they've always had Mangala in when Steve Cooper was there. So so basically, I just want to see what those two can do. Yates is going to start. There's no doubt about that. But this is my particular team. Also, when it comes to like the front four, Gibbs White, Hudson Odoi, Jesus, you can see what they can do. Regarding Dylan backward, it's obvious that he's trying to acclimatise. That was his first game at the City Ground. He may have been nervous, but I've seen enough in him to maybe potentially cause Midtjylland's problems. So these are basically my lineup, but I would like to see Ange really use the bench as well.
Yeah, fair. No problem. And then Reese, last but no means least, your team is still, everyone's gone 4-2-3-1. No changes there. So Sells in goal: Savona, Milenkovic, Morato, Zinchenko, Yates and Anderson in midfield, backward Gibbs White and Doi and Cali Mwendo. So you're going to talk us through this, Reese. I mean, only one change in that back five. We spoke about protecting Nico Williams, haven't we? So I think that's evident.
Yeah, well, I stuck with Sells because I know it's only one game, but what I saw from he didn't fill me with confidence at all. It just seems another Miguel regen to me. He'll be back in Brazil next season from that performance, but that is a hot take, I guess. Yeah, like I say, you've got to rest Nico because, like Danny said, we can't afford to get him injured. And I wouldn't dream of playing Zinchenko away at Newcastle when they've got a Langer on that right. That'd just be a car crash. I would like to rest Milenkovic, but I don't want to change the core of the side too much because we still need a win and we can't take the game too lightly. We can't take it too lightly. So that's why I've kind of kept a core of players in. The midfield, I mean, if Yates can't play in this game, when is he going to play? Again, Anderson, I would like to rest, but with Nico Dominguez, if Nico Dominguez was fit, he'd be in instead. But with him only just coming back, I'd kind of like to hope that we can get the game done within the hour and then we can kind of bring the likes of Anderson off really and bring Dominguez on so he gets some more time. I've kept with them two wingers because I do think they need a confidence boost, both of them. And I look at this fixture, that is probably ideal to give them that. Same with Gibbs White. Since opening day, he played well against Betis, to be fair, but since opening day, his performances haven't been to the level he's capable of. And it's the same with Cali Mwendo. He was unlucky at Swansea because if we had VAR, he might have had a goal to his name and he also might have got their centre-back sent off, but unfortunately we didn't and he got neither. So I would like to see him try and get off the mark, really. That would be nice. I get the guys' points about Igor Jesus with him having the 2 goals already in Europa League, but I would like to see probably Jesus start at the weekend. So yeah, that's why I've gone for Callum Mwende. But Elliot hit it bang on the head as well. It's this new fancy term, isn't it, about finishes now. That would be my side what starts the game. But if we've done the game within an hour or so, then you can begin to rest players. Or if it isn't going to plan, you've got players on the bench who we can bring on, the likes of Igor Jesus, McAtee, Hudson-Odoi, Dominguez for his energy, for example, who can maybe come on and change the game. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be such an interesting one with how Ange goes, because he has just been ringing in the changes all the time, and I still just think he's just trying to find a formula, trying to find something that's going to click, and it has clicked here and there. I do think Douglas Luiz is a big one. I think he's just, like you said earlier, Danny. He just seems that level above. He's played in European competition before. He's played for Villa, big crowds, and what have you? Obviously been at City before under Guardiola. I get that vibe off him. He's confident in it. You can just tell. He's confident in his ability. So yeah, I think Thursday's massive. I think we need to definitely no ifs or buts about it. Take it as seriously as possible. Serious as a heart attack. Get that first goal. Get the crowd going. I feel like we can take them to the cleaners if we really want to. It's happened in the past when you look at their results in European football. Like they play like Sociedad the other year, they got beat like 6-2 or 6-3 or something that away. They've been beaten by Rangers. I think they've been beaten by quite a few teams. But if you take them lightly, they will beat you. They're beating the likes of Man United. So in the past, so they are experienced at this.
Well, I was just looking at their fixtures last year, Adam, because there was obviously in Europa League last year. So these are their 8 league phase games. So they drew 1-1 at home to Hoffenheim, beat Union Saint-Gilloise at home 1-0, lost 2-1 at home to Eintracht Frankfurt, drew 2-2 with Fenerbahce at home. They then went out in the knockout phase to Real Sociedad, who were heavily beaten 7-3. Away from home, beat Ludogorets and Maccabi Tel Aviv 2-0 both times. And then they lost to Steaua Bucharest and Porto 2-0. And then this year, so obviously they have played a lot of games. They've actually won 6 in a row now in the qualifiers, and they beat Sturm Graz. So they beat Sturm Graz, beat Cups of Finland twice, beat Fredrikstad of Norway twice, but they did just scramble past Hibs of Scotland 3-2.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'd like to think we could beat Hibs, couldn't we?
Yeah, definitely. Well, the other factor is Ryan told me they're playing Copenhagen on Sunday. Which, their scheduling has been a bit all over the shop, and he says he wasn't sure why. But they see winning the Danish league as massive because it's the only way to get into the Champions League.
Yeah, because they'll want to wrestle, because Copenhagen are the reigning champions, aren't they? So they'll want to wrestle that back off them.
Yeah,
I think Midtjylland won it the season before, because Copenhagen in the Champions League, I believe.
Oh yes,
right.
you are correct. Yeah, so I got it wrong earlier. So no, it's an absolute massive game, and I just think if we can score loads of goals, that'd also be helpful, because we just need it. We just need an Ange win, whether you hate him or not. I mean, I nearly fell over earlier, didn't I, Reece, with Christian being so positive in the group. So what's your score prediction for Thursday, Danny?
I'll go 3-0.
3-0. Any goal scorers? You putting your hat on?
I go Jesus hat trick.
Oh, lovely. Fantastic. Elliot?
I think it's going to be 2-0, but it won't be pretty.
It won't be pretty, but you'll take it, so it's fine. Yeah. Reece?
I'm going to go for 2-1 to Forest, and you don't need me to tell you who scores for them.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I just thought that. I think I'll put one on mine, actually. Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah. 6-1 is any time. We've already had a lot of Billing.
Nemesis list, Phil Billing, and playing still in black and red as well, which is annoying.
Like we said on the last part, it's always a 50-yard top corner. Never attacking.
No, it's not. I'm going to go 2-0 as well, and probably agree with Elliot. It might be scrappy, but actually it might be something that we need. Like, do you know what I mean? Just get over the line, get something, and get us going, especially for the weekend as we play Newcastle away, and all the fans in the heavens there. So, Elliot, obviously finishing off, what's your true story for everyone that's been eagerly anticipating it?
Okay, so as you know, guys, it's been the Ryder Cup this weekend. So I thought to myself, I'm going to just look up some either some strange stories or facts regarding golf, and I discovered the this very strange one from the 1987 Golf Digest magazine. It's about the most unfortunate golf slice of all time. So this is set in Benin in Africa. So that's really important to this story. So the story is factory worker Matthew Boyer sliced his golf shot while playing outside the perimeter of the Benin Air Force Base. The ball struck a bird, which promptly smashed into the windscreen of a jet as it was about to take off. The pilot lost control and ploughed into 4 other aircraft, which happened to be the entire Benin Air Force, destroying them all. Mr. Boyer, who earns £180 a month for his job, has been charged with hooliganism and fined £26 million.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
I don't know the leniency of Benin's justice system, but I would feel like he's still paying that back. But yeah, I'll leave a link on my Twitter just to verify it. But yeah, that's the only true story I could find. Really, that was good.
I mean,
Can I give you another fact about Benin? But they're actually in a decent position to qualify for the World Cup because South Africa was top of their group, actually got deducted 3 points yesterday for fielding an ineligible player, and that's actually put on the top of their qualification group on goal difference, I believe. So another little caveat. Actually above Nigeria as well, with Nigeria in that group.
Blimey.
See, for this podcast, you've got Reese for the football facts and me for just all sorts of silliness. But yeah, I can never challenge Reese on football facts.
No, bro.
I mean,
no,
I'm not sure I know any Benin players. I'm just having a quick look through now. No. Steve
Probably.
Mooney, who used to play Huddersfield, is the only one I recognise, if you remember him.
Right, blimey.
That's
Right,
about it.
fair enough. Fair enough. No, interesting golf facts as Europe stuck 2 fingers back up to the Americans, and as Trump probably with his propaganda probably said that the Americans won in his news conference or something. Bit like how was it Kim Jong Un who did that for North Korea when they qualified for the World Cup. They're like, yeah, we won.
Well, they was giving it to him, wasn't it, Trump?
Yeah.
I seen the team singing.
Well, they were singing the Cranberries song, weren't they, with Rory?
Yeah.
So they know a good song when they've heard one.
We are trendsetters. That song's been played everywhere now. That In Your Head song.
No, thank you very much, Danny, for joining us. Hope you enjoy Thursday night. I'm sure. Are you going with your missus and your dad?
Yeah, us 3. Yeah, we'll be going. Can't wait.
The troublemakers.
Just want to thank you as well.
Jess.
Yeah, just want to congratulate you as well, mate, for finishing the half marathon at the weekend.
Yeah,
Oh God,
done,
it was
mate.
that last mile was minging. Like honestly, horrible, absolutely horrible. Elliot, who are you going with Thursday? Oh, Chris and Matt on it, aren't you?
Yeah, Raf the Random Pundit from another podcast is joining me as well. So yeah, if you hear some bickering in Block P, it's not me.
It's not you.
It's like a podcast wars in Block P.
Reese, obviously, you're going with your better half, and Jess and Reese, I assume. So yeah,
Grat stay with me. I'm actually going. Well, I'm going kind of with Jamie, meeting him on the flight in Luton, and then we're getting a train from Bratislava to Vienna, and then Vienna to Graz. If obviously get a ticket and that.
Yeah, well, I'm not on about that. I'm on about Midtjylland on Thursday. We're going.
Already looking forward to the next away.
Yeah, it's better than being at home, innit? I will not be going. Personal stuff. Mrs., as everyone knows, she's on chemo, so staying away from the crowd. So I'll be watching from home and staying warm and cozy, and hopefully shouting the house down when we've put the 5th in or something, or Phil Billings put one in the top corner. It's going to be one of those scenarios, I think. But no, thank you very much for joining us. If you do enjoy it, do drop us a like and a subscribe. It goes a long way. Consider membership for early access and 0 adverts and 0 intro on our Patreon. Only £1 a month, and that helps the podcast keep going and everything. And maybe a curry will be in order with with everyone as Danny Triggers keep badgering on about. We'll go for one. Don't worry, mate. We just need more members.
To get one sorted.
We just need more members to contribute to it. I'm joking, obviously.
Last story's booked, guys. Sorry.
Stop giving them free advertisement. They don't sponsor this pod. Right. Anyway, enjoy Thursday. Hope everyone has a great night, and hopefully the Forest team can give us something to shout about before we go to Newcastle. But until the review of this game, we'll see you then. And come on.